switch over till it's past the menu because I didn't realize I wasn't playing.
Okay.
I feel like that's one thing that YouTube will like. The bots will find in copyright strike if you're like on the DVD menu.
Yeah.
Wow.
Because then it's like you're just bringing stuff over. Oh, RIP to ADV.
Oh my goodness.
Damn.
So many, like my favorite anime tapes are like all ADV.
Whoa.
Specifically just because I feel like they outdid everyone in terms of like previews for other anime.
Mm-hmm.
Just like the best music and just like clips of all the action.
Get you hyped to see it.
Yeah.
Yeah, no,
Like,
that's awesome.
Evangelion's all ADV. Cowboy Bebop was Bandai, and they usually have just like one or two preview, but yeah, ADV specifically, I really like.
That's cool.
And a lot of the weird video game anime adaptations, like the Street Fighter 2 or that like Final Fantasy Crystal Chronicles is.
Oh my god!
I think that one's ADV.
I had a bootleg VHS of some anime that I need to find what it is.
Oh, it's actually Urban Vision American Anime. Is this Final Fantasy?
Whoa.
Awesome.
Oh, I don't know what it is. I have some of the Evangelion tapes.
They've skyrocketed in price.
Yeah, my friend found them and was like, "Oh, you like this, don't you?" And they gave them.
That's
to me.
awesome.
It's really.
I love it when
them to
friends
do
like
that.
give you cool things.
Yeah.
Like know your personality.
Yeah, dude was like, "Oh, I found these at the thrift store, like $2, so you can have all these." It was like maybe 5 Evangelion tapes, and then my mom was at some kind of, I don't know what it was, some kind of. There was some anime tape. It's some bootleg that my parents found. Are like, "Oh, you like anime? Maybe you like this." And it was some bootleg tape. But I don't remember even what it was. It was something about like drilling in like somewhere. It was not Gurren Lagann, but it was some kind of drill anime. And
That
every
sounds
time I say
insane.
that, everyone's like, "Oh, Gurren Lagann, they drill in that." I was like, no, I know what that one is. It's not that. It's some. I think it might just be like an OVA too. Like I don't think it's like a full series.
I hope you find it. That sounds cool.
Yeah, I could just ask for a picture of it. I think it's somewhere in my parents' house. But yeah, it's bootleg anime.
Hell yeah.
It's funny too because there's before official releases. I was talking to a friend who's like older than me, who like in the 90s and stuff, or everything was bootleg. Like it was all just like fan subs.
Yeah.
Just like recorded to VHS.
Yeah.
And brought over, and you could go to like head shops or comic book stores and stuff that just had random bootleg tapes.
That's awesome. I've always been into the fan subs more than the official. I don't know.
Do you think they're more accurate?
I think that they're more. What I find a lot is in a fan sub, you'll get the not necessarily the most accurate translation, but like the implied translation. Where in a official sub, you'll get like a lot of weird extra words that I don't really think need to be there. Like or they're like try and make up names or like terms and stuff like that for things that I don't think they need to do. Yeah,
context.
And it's like I don't know. I sometimes feel weird reading that.
Yeah.
When my Japanese is not good, but I've learned a bit from like taking class back in the day, and then also like I do like basically flashcards on my phone as like a pastime thing instead of I don't know playing sewer runner or whatever. But I'll have that, and so I sort of know like a few terms and things like that. So when I'll watch it and I'll read the official subtitles of things, sometimes I'm like, that's weird that they changed it to that. And I'll think about that, but that rarely happens with fan subs. Or I'll get the fan subs, it's kind of like, it's the implied meaning rather than the concrete, like, adapted translation. But if you prefer that, I mean, then I guess you think I'm full of shit, but, like, I guess it's a matter of preference.
Yeah.
But I've always loved the fan subs a lot more.
Do you go towards subs more than dubs, probably?
Yes, yeah. I've seen a few things dubbed, and like I used to be a real like, why the hell would you do that? But I usually think for like any kind of not made in English thing, you should watch it with subtitles if you can.
Yeah, if you can. There's like certain. I feel like the only time I watch dubs on certain things if I'm nostalgic for it because I watched it as a teenager on like Adult Swim or Toonami or something.
Yeah.
Or literally that's the only reason. Or if I'm like doing something and watching in the background. And like still want to know what's going on.
Yeah, I think it's good if you're just like chilling with something on. It's definitely better for that. Like I'm a huge like put something on the TV while I do something else. And it's definitely better for that. It makes it less background noise, more thing that I'm actually paying attention to.
I'm trying to think of the things that I've seen dubbed. I watched Vampire Knight dubbed, which is really funny. Highly recommend that show if you haven't seen it. Vampire Knight. It's so of that era.
I'm not sure I know what it is, even.
It's like school cross academy is what it's called. And there's like the day class and the night class, and the night class is all vampires.
That sounds funny as
But they call them like aristocrat vampires. And it's a really goofy show. There's a lot more like romantic tension in it than I was expecting. Like some like a lot of like, oh, I can't wait to suck your blood type of like talk and stuff like that, which is really funny.
That's funny as fuck. A show I watched that I really enjoyed recently was Maria Holic.
Oh my gosh. Okay, it's definitely of that same era, I think.
Yeah.
Those had to have come out.
Maria Holic bangs. It's incredibly weird. Like, definitely strange show. Like
be the third one.
Yeah. Like, I don't know. It's about like a lesbian that is head over heels for girls. So she goes to an all girls academy, and she gets roomed with like the one person at the all girls academy who's like a trans person and is like a boy, and she has it in her head that she's like allergic to boys and will die instantly if she touches a boy.
Awesome.
So, I don't know, it's a little bit distasteful in some sense, but I was able to appreciate it because, like, it's never like trans people are disgusting. It's like, lol, they're trans. Like, just like very casual. It's a pretty charming show because it's just like this girl falling in love with other girls, and then like the actual ship that you want the whole time is her dating the trans person. You know, and it's like hinted at throughout the show that like, oh, maybe she does have feelings for this person.
Yeah.
That like she's just trying really hard to repress.
Did I knock a chord?
Perhaps you did knock a chord.
What have I done?
Maybe
we got snow.
Maybe the VHS ended.
Yeah, this one did. I swapped it out, but
oh, there we go.
Okay, so it is this. No, it was this VHS. So this VHS must have ended. Yeah. This is the cool thing with this setup is we can switch to back to
dinner.
Check in with Andre.
Hey, how's the conversation going?
Have they ordered dessert yet?
Oh, I don't know. I can't tell.
Yeah, they ordered something. Look at that.
That movie is so funny. Like the he's so excited about my dinner with Andre.
Yeah. It's like a celebrity. Yeah, I love this movie.
Are they both like playwrights too? Is how they know each other?
Yeah.
They, like dramatically quit.
I think that's one of the things that makes this movie really profound for me. It's like it really speaks to like how art communities are.
Yeah.
Because you will totally just be around like some guy.
Yes.
If you're in like an art community. And that's like someone that you like coexist with and are sometimes like some of your like best friends. It's just like some guy.
Yeah.
And like you know, like
The
80% of people are a crazy person.
Yeah.
But
and
then
the way that art and music can like bring people together.
Yeah.
Of just like we're like different generations, different interests, but like
I think
it's really cool.
Yeah.
I think we talk about that sometimes. Like, I just kind of just love like when like a normal guy shows up.
Yeah.
Like
yeah.
I think we both. Said
I love
that
the
to each
normal
other.
guys.
Yeah.
When the normal guys are respectful, they're like awesome.
Yeah.
But sometimes they can be real jackasses. But when they're nice, they're like some of my favorite people. My friend Grant is like the most normal fucking guy ever. He's like just like 6'3", bleach blonde, normal ass dude. Friends with so many trans people. Like just like ultimate homie. I don't know. Super good guy.
Yeah.
But just like totally random person who I would never run into otherwise. Yeah, he really likes to eat. Every time he's every time he's in town, we like get a meal with him, and he orders like 3 meals worth of food and is like
awesome.
reviewing it in real time.
That's awesome.
Yeah, after one of the Heavens Wares that I like took him to, we like got hot dogs, and he gave like a review to some of our friends who like ran into us off the street of like this hot dog that he was eating. It's like, I don't know, the snap of the hot dog is really exceptional.
Yeah, it's got that casing. It's got the hot dog casing. Oh my goodness. This one's about really subtle knob shifts.
Absolutely.
You find a little zone where like, this is alright, we're no color, now we got color. That's maybe moving this thing like a micro rotation.
And then if you want to like just completely lose signal and just get the VHS lines, you have that option too. But yeah, I like that one for the subtlety, but also just the different color variations.
Yeah.
Of if you want it more purple and green, or these nice like pinks and oranges.
I'm a big fan of the like white with like color on the outside of it.
Yeah.
That type of thing, like that. I love that.
I went to this like techno festival in Wisconsin that Drop Bass was hosting, Drop Bass Network. And that show / festival was kind of really awesome because it was the some guy effect, but they're all 20 years older than me.
Interesting.
So like we were like the youngest people there by like so much, because this is like a label that's been running since like the early 90s. And like we went there and it was just a bunch of like 40-year-old like people that like probably have kids and like actual jobs, and they were just like chopping it up with us, and they're like, "Oh, you're from Chicago?" And then they like yell really loud like, "Hey John, can you bring me the Malort?" Because it was like a giant like campsite, like massive campsite, and then like their friend like runs from like across this campsite to us with like a big bottle, and it's like, "I'm also from Chicago, like what's up?" And then it's like, "2 shots with me," and like have
So
some
funny.
Malort.
So this is Crouching Tiger and the Final Fantasy.
Oh wait.
Oh my goodness. Is that on this?
That's on the third one.
Oh, this right
Yeah.
Okay.
The Fluxus. But if any of you want to switch too,
Oh,
just
okay.
like
I'm chilling.
Yeah, I'm pretty good. Did you have another like question?
Let's see. We talked a lot about the D2s. What kind of like events do you have coming up, or what shows? What's going on?
I'm playing at Cobra Lounge on the 6th, which is in like 2 days.
Okay.
So probably after this show
Yeah, probably
comes
after.
out.
Yeah.
We're starting work on the next Noob Fest
Oh yeah.
pretty soon here.
Awesome. When's that gonna be?
January probably 2024.
Nice. And is it gonna be at Dad's again?
Probably.
Okay. Cool.
Probably. Unless I've been scheming on getting my own space for a minute now. But like it's fucked. Like I think the landlords in Chicago are like hip to the fact that people want to throw parties.
Yeah.
Because like they like get sussed so fast.
Yeah.
Like I'll be like, okay, I can pay rent like the first like 6 months of this lease. If you just want to give me a 6-month lease, I can just give you all of the money right now. And they're like, whoa, I'm out of here. Like, I'm gone. Like, even using like real proof of income from like my friends that have real jobs and could be like affording to pay for something like this, it's like they run away really fast. Yeah, probably at Dad's, unless I get incredibly lucky and get my own space.
Mm-hmm.
I love Dad's a lot, and it's like pretty much the most perfect space for something like Noob Fest that could possibly exist.
Yeah.
But I feel like we are just gonna like hit capacity. Probably. We have the last 2 times.
Yeah, so
and I hate hitting capacity. It makes me feel like an asshole having to turn people away, so I'd like to avoid that if possible.
I know, plus I want as many people. I feel like Noob Fest for me is such a like passion project. It's all that like I don't know, I'll make that level on the video game or like get all that stuff together to do those things and I just feel like, oh man, I gotta tell someone, no, you can't see what I did. It's like, oh no. Yeah. It's so sad. Yeah. It's like, no, I want as many people as possible.
Yeah.
What is the capacity for Dad's?
Like 100.
Okay. Yeah.
Plus or minus 10.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, and that's like, I don't know, could probably fit more people in there, but it's just like after 100 people, it starts to get to like, you're like swimming through a crowd of people.
You can't tell, like, you can't manage everyone.
Yeah.
And a big thing for Noob Fest, I felt like I was like, I love it to death and I love everyone who showed up, but I was also like having to fix computers all the time because people would like do dumb shit on the computer for some reason.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And I was like, no guys, just play the game. Like don't mess with the computer. Don't go on Spotify. Like you don't need to do that. Like why are you doing that? But it was all like, you're at a music event. Like what are you doing? But you know, whatever.
Yeah.
Like, it happened. But I was having to go and, like, fix computers. I had to reinstall Quake on a bunch of computers and all that sort of stuff. Like, every, like, 20 minutes I'd go over there and someone's game had, like, fucked up in some kind of way because they, like, tried to change their character model or something. It's like, no, don't do that.
Yeah.
I have to reconnect to the server and then, like, it's not working and the map files are giving me problems. Yeah. So it's like, you know, I got to do that. But then if there's, like, 200 people running around in there in a really small space, that's, like...
It's fucked.
it's nightmarish because then I have to worry about something else happening and it's like, okay, guys.
Yeah.
Let me fix the computer real quick.
I felt pretty good about the crowd control situation at the Dormouse show. I actually feel like we did a very good job of making sure that like there was no bullshit going on.
Yeah.
Despite there being like a fuck ton of people.
Yeah.
So I'm actually really proud about that. Because anytime you have a crowd over like 100 people, it becomes like a logistical nightmare.
Yeah. The having the staff wear the glow sticks too, I thought was like a good idea.
Yeah, I stole that from Gloomy in Portland. I noticed that they were doing that at their events, and I was like, that is so wise. So I just like took the idea. And I've noticed a couple other events doing stuff like that since my thing too. Like the Crystal Spaces thing had the same thing, which I think is really good. I think like having staff members like really easily accessible is like can only be a good thing, even if it's just to like ask a stupid question like where's the bathroom. Like way better than having to like wander around like a space that you don't know.
Gonna switch to 1, and then the other question, which if we lost signal we'll probably switch to.
Oh, there we go.
We're in.
Oh yeah, the other question. Talk to us a little bit about Mages Guild.
Oh yeah. So Mages Guild is a label run by me and my friends. Label/rave crew. It's me and Jessica doing most of the organizational stuff. Yeah, basically just want, like, I feel like there's so many people in the Midwest and in Chicago that, like, don't have really, like, any platform to stand on, because, like, I don't know, a lot of the big labels for, like, electronic music are, like, either really inaccessible or, like, they'll just, like, have, like, complete, like, fuckers on their label. Like, they'll have, like, bad people on their shit just because, like, their music is sick. So, like, I really felt, like, trapped, sort of, for my friends, because it's, like, you know, we want to be releasing shit and have, like, a catalog of things, but I can't trust somebody else to be, like, curating a catalog, because they're gonna put fucked up people alongside me, and I don't want that. So that was basically, like, the concept behind Mages Guild. Also, being able to, like, put a stamp on things that we did, because, like, me, Jess, and our friend group, like, have all been putting in effort for all of the shows that we've organized.
So much of it is
none of them have been a solo
oriented.
effort. All of them have been, like, all of us.
And just very prolific, and then also, but having that, like, group be associated with it, so it's not just, like, a bunch of random events with, like, a bunch of people in it, but we can say, like, we're all part of this group that
like, being able to, like, have, like, a banner that you are, like, putting up above you, I feel like is, like, really important, and something that has been, like, lacking in the scene. Even if, like, I don't know if I'm very good at doing, like, label organizational tasks. I've never done it before. I've been, like, doing my best, but I don't think I'm, like, super good at it or anything. But, you know, better than nothing is how I see it. Like, I don't know, so long as people know that there is a community for music like this and know where to find it, it's better. Damn, that looks crazy as hell.
It's that easy.
So hopefully, you know, we keep going. I really just want, like, I don't know, music scene to be a better place. It feels like for so long everything has been, like, either, like, super serious or, like, so unserious that, like, shit is slipping through the cracks. It's like, there needs to be an in-between. Surely there's an in-between. Like, I really like serious, harder music, but I also like goofy shit and fun things. And these things don't need to be separate worlds from each other.
Finding the balance where you can be goofy and fun, but that there's still, like,
I've always been a big supporter of that. Having a good time, and not everything has to be, like, ironic. Like, I feel like there's, like, a big people talking about shit being ironic. It's like, fuck off.
I think it's lost on me.
So do you like it ironically, or do you, like, listen to this?
You can just do it for real.
It's like, does it matter? Like, I don't know. I was listening to, like, weird... I mean, I used to be in the scenario where, like, people thought it was, like, strange that I would listen to video game music. Like, something as simple as that is, like, do you, like, do that, like, seriously, or is it just, like, funny? It's like, I don't know, man. Like, I like the way it is. It doesn't matter. I mean, the song is funny. Like, I think the music soundtrack to Chibi Robo is pretty silly, but, like,
what I found too is that there's, like, so much merit in any kind of creative thing that's made, even if it's, like, bad, in the sense of, like, when you go into something trying to watch it or engage with it ironically, if you're around it enough, you're going to, like, see its merits. Like, that's how I feel about, honestly, that's how I feel about the Fast and the Furious franchise, is I went into that ironically of, like, I'm just gonna watch all of these movies in order. I was like, oh, like, this is, like, a very, very over the top soap opera, and, like, they're following all these soap opera tropes, but with car crashes.
Yeah.
And like, that's actually really cool.
If you get into something, I often say that. The most
expensive movies that are, it's just an ongoing soap opera.
Yeah.
It's kind of awesome.
Yeah.
One of my classic ones is for video games. It's just play the game. Like, shut the fuck up and just play the game.
Yeah.
Like, there's so many, so am I supposed to be doing this? Am I supposed to build my character this way? Is this, they're like playing Microsoft Excel. It's like, dude, just shut up and just play. Like, you'll figure it out.
And that's like the joy of,
if you let yourself get into something, you can get into something. And I feel like that's kind of goes for everything. The video game analogy is just the most on hand, and same with Fast and Furious. Like, if you let yourself get in, like, I was doing that with every Saw movie. It's like, those are ridiculous and crazy, and like,
and music too, of just like getting into like people who don't see the merits of pop music, and they're like, oh, well, I'm gonna listen to this as a joke, and it's like, oh, I see why. Like,
I had someone tell me that they like had this like weird thing about like, oh, well, I don't listen to like Taylor Swift or anything, but I think your music's really cool. It's like, hey buddy, I'm like dropping Taylor Swift remixes. Like, come on, man. Like, I don't know. Or like people will like diss certain genres of music, and then I'll play that genre of music. Oh, your set was great. It's like, dude, like, fuck you. But like at the same time, it's also like, I'm not like mad at you. I'm just like, what the heck?
Yeah.
Like I felt that way with the Dormouse show with Joanne's set of the dropping in the "Hey there, Delilah."
Yeah.
Whereas like, haha, it's funny, but then it's also like, no, when this actually came out, the amount of like my generation, or like 30, 32 millennials, like that song, like we all knew it was stupid when it was on, but it was this like cultural moment. Where we all engaged with it in one level or another.
Yeah, like things can be fun without being like stupid. Like you don't have to hate something because it's fun.
Yeah.
Like you can just be having a good time.
Absolutely.
And you don't need to like overthink it. Like I feel like there's so much of that where it's like, I'm playing like an MCR remix, but like lol, I hate MCR, and that's why I made the remix. It's like you like the song enough to be like taking core elements from it and putting in your own music.
Yeah.
I don't know.
That's another actually.
People want to be cool or something.
Yeah.
They have this fixation on like being cool and like, I don't know.
MCR is another group where I thought I was like too cool, because I remember 3 Cheers for Sweet Revenge and liking that, but then I just remember like having this switch and thinking I was too cool for it and not listening to it until like college, putting it on like kind of as a joke, like, oh, I forgot about this album, and then it was like, wait, this is so good. Like, and then like Gerard Way is just like does so much cool things, like comics. And
I love MCR. I listen to those pretty frequently. I have a lot of fun hearing those albums.
I was kind of like the type of person that we're talking about, like when I was in high school and middle school.
That makes sense though. Like I feel like that's the thing. When you're like younger,
that's when you're allowed to be like a curmudgeon.
Like I was like a real emo.
When you're a little 7th grader and you want to be
emo,
like angsty about some like crap, like it makes sense. But when you're when you're past that lifestyle and then you're still doing it, is sort of like, I don't know, man. That's more embarrassing than listening to MCR. Like come on, like get some awareness or something like that. Like, if you like something, you like something, right?
Totally. That's why I gravitate towards and always respect in people when they like unabashedly like what they like.
Yeah. I fucking love nu metal. I know nu metal's sort of in its comeback era right now.
It's comeback now, but it's like
I've been loving on nu metal.
Yeah, there's a reason it was so big. And
Yeah, some of my parts of the D4 Damagers tracks were like reconstructed out of like MIDIs that I found online for like Slipknot and Limp Bizkit and like stuff like that. Like I was like finding a MIDI that someone had made for it and then like taking a piece of the melody and like chopping it up and rearranging it into like the melody for like a fake acid track that sounds like shit. And that stuff is like well written and like catchy and sounds good even when like completely removed from the original context that it's in. Like it's like genuinely good songwriting. So I think it's funny as fuck that for like 10 years we were stuck in like the irony like mind cube, like Limp Bizkit funny.
Yeah.
Instead of like Limp Bizkit actually good songwriting.
Limp Bizkit's awesome.
Yeah,
I have
they are
this
awesome.
weird like tradition. I don't know what to call it. Every time I like go to the airport, I used to do it a lot more, coming back and forth from college. But every time I would go to the airport, I just get, because I kind of get freaked out on an airplane. So I just kind of amp myself up, just listen to Limp Bizkit, just getting on the terminal, just, just like, let's go. Like, it's just one of those days. I don't know. Something about the whole thing.
Yeah.
That was my way of life for a while.
Do you want 1, 2, or 3?
Let's go 3.
3 moments.
Oh, I got a thing we can talk about. Been throwing the term like midipunk around.
Yeah.
The new genres. Yeah, we got some new genres coming out.
Because it's funny with midipunk too, because I remember with the Mages Guild with that cassette release.
Yeah.
And then I think something else like Aaron did, like just using the hashtag midipunk.
Yeah.
And, like,
I'm glad Aaron's on for it.
Yeah, and I was trying to like Google and figure out like what it was, and obviously it's if you made the genre, there's not much information. So yeah, talk about it.
Yeah, so Aaron made it up offhandedly because he was making a show flyer for like some XLX show that we were playing, and they were like listing genre tags for everybody, and I was doing a D2 set, and he was like, what the fuck should I put as the genre for this?
Yeah.
I was like, I don't know, come up with something, and he put midipunk on the flyer.
That's awesome.
And I was like, wait, that's actually like a very good descriptor for like what it is we're doing. Midipunk is like trying to like make music with shitty tools and like overcoming the shitty tools.
That's
like
awesome.
And like using things that like were intended to be music devices but are not used.
It's like what Casio chorus should have been.
Yeah.
You listen to Casio chorus, the dumbest thing ever. It's just bad synthwave.
Yeah.
It's like, guys,
we're still trying to make a real song.
You have like funny tools. You should be making like some. I don't know. I treat midipunk as like kind of an in between of like digigrind. If you ever listen to any of that, like there's an album, I think it's called You Ain't Shit Until You've Been Shat On, I think is the album title. By their name is just like an emoticon, like greater score underscore or greater than underscore greater than. Killer album. I think it might have some like rude shit in the track titles and like some, maybe
early internet network type
early
edginess.
internet edginess. But at the same time, like, I don't know, I feel like it's not necessarily in like bad intention or whatever. Like, I don't know, it's nonsense. It's like just supposed to be like clusterfuck music, which I think really fits the digigrind. There's not many things out there that label themselves as digigrind, but that's one of the ones. That and like Harakara Kitty or whatever that person's called. Just that like
fuck type music.
I don't know, it's crazy, but that's kind of the spirit of what I feel like midipunk is. Like, if you take that energy of just like banging keys and hitting notes and like going loud at it, like with high energy and like kind of clicking around and
I don't know, I think
cross genre.
I think it's sort of the cross genre part of it is very important. Like covering a lot of territory in a single song and not really adhering to like a strict genre structure.
I feel like that's
for
very
like electronic music.
D4 Damagers.
Totally.
Weirdly
mentality.
has not been done very much.
Yeah.
Like people will be like, I'm making a techno song, and then they have the techno song characteristics. I also think like a very explicit characteristic of MIDI punk is like, it's not like you're like falling short of trying to make like a real song as you would with real gear, but you're definitely making something different.
Yeah.
Like, whether or not you like it due to the limitations of the thing that you're using, you cannot actually make the real version of the genre that you're trying to make.
Yeah.
So you have to settle, or not settle, but you just end up with like a different end product than you otherwise would. And yeah, I don't know, it kind of reminds me of like the ideology behind like first wave chiptune, like making music with what you have on hand and what is accessible to you.
Yeah.
Because like a lot of the early chiptune people were trying to make normal music with chiptune. Like it hadn't fully devolved into like video game music territory yet. So there were like bands like that were using like LSDJ as like their guitarists, like Bubblegum Octopus and like shit like that, like very early LSDJ type music.
Just like as LSDJ is like an instrument with it.
Like because they just didn't have another thing or didn't want to be using another thing.
Yeah.
And like, yeah, I don't know. I would say Daniel really fits into like the like categorization of MIDI punk.
Totally.
Honestly, huge inspiration to me.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. He's really on the same wave of like using like whatever the fuck you have available, like rack mount gear, like huge rack mount multi effects. Like, just because that's what you have.
Yeah.
Like, that's just what you gotta do. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like this, like... There's also some people in Indiana that are very much on the same wave. But there wasn't really a name for it that existed, other than just, like, experimental electronic music.
Yeah.
Like, most, like, umbrella term possible.
Yeah.
But it really is its own thing. Like... There are through lines between all of this music, even if we're making things that are like aesthetically different from one another. The through line is the using the piece of shit gear.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I hope that more people hop on with this and start making it.
Yeah,
because it's
absolutely.
like the barrier to entry is so low. So.
Yeah, that's kind of the point. You know, it's like, dude, I don't write music. It's like, no problem.
Yeah, just
like,
go for it.
And especially the emphasis on like shitty gear too.
Yeah,
it becomes more accessible because that's not the stuff that's, you know, reselling for a ton of money.
Yeah, I was getting real frustrated because like, I don't know. A lot of people who are like making hardcore and stuff right now are all using like analog rhythm for like $900 piece of gear and like nice ass samplers, and it's like, I don't know, I just can't compete with that. I'll make my own category. Like it's just not the same thing. Yeah,
I mean, I even sort of feel some of that using the Octatrack. Is like, that's a very sophisticated piece of gear. Well, debatably, some people hate it with their guts, but regardless, it is expensive, and it's not something that I take for granted at all. But at the same time, it's also like, dude, I don't know, like, this is against my philosophy, you know? Because like, I love my Electrite, and that thing is kind of in a midway point. I think
it used to be cheaper.
It used to be cheaper. I got it before it was cool. And now it's gone up in price. It's probably doubled. But, you know, something about that kind of junk gear is sort of fun. But also, like, I don't know, I was going to talk about gear that I don't like actually dislike. Like the SP404 that I just can't connect with.
Fuck like, the 404.
Like the 404, I've seen people like Casper McFadden do some pretty highballer, like wizard shit with the 404. I don't know if I'm just like stupid or like what, but I feel like using the 404 is the most nightmare experience I've had with a piece of gear ever. Like, I don't know. I'm just trying to think of the like I get how to use it, but I just don't write music like that. And I just don't perform like that.
It's just a completely different workflow. Like, it's like a piece of gear made by someone that like didn't use anything else beforehand. Like, I don't know, it's really strange
It's
to me.
super weird.
I've seen some people crank out some, like, insane shit with it, but
I
every
know.
time that I've tried using it, it's like, what the fuck? I think it could be because we're so ingrained in the workflow of the roll and groove box.
Yeah, we're so D2, like, step sequencer.
Yeah, like,
but
everything
also, like,
everything I've ever used sort of adheres to this, like, horizontal step sequencer grid that you put things on and then, like, pitch them up and down by step, and that's
Yeah.
just simply not a thing that you do with the 404.
Yeah, well, it is now. They have a step sequencer on it, but it's the most, like, why would you do it this way? Like,
Yeah.
I mean, it makes sense because given your, like, grid interface, but also, I don't know, the way that thing operates kind of drove me out of the water.
Yeah.
Where I was more frustrated with it. I just wanted to use my other stuff instead of using it, which I think is the true sign of something bad. Not the sound quality; it's the experience.
Yeah.
If you love using the crappiness of the D2, I do not think that makes the D2 bad. I think that, I don't know, there's something to be said there. I don't know what to say though, but there's something in that.
Absolutely. What are we doing on time?
We are at 1:36:050.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I feel like that's. Is there anything else you want to close out the show with? Anything you want to plug?
I don't know. Pay attention to the local music scene. Go to people's shows. Don't be a fucker. Don't break shit.
Yeah, don't break things. Don't be nice.
Have fun. Give people money. Make music with your friends.
Take the world by storm. Live like a windrammer as you fuck. And if you heard anything bad about me, believe all that shit and then leave me the fuck alone.
That's such a good way to close out the episode. Yeah, check out D4 Damagers. Check out Mages Guild, midipunk, and yeah, if you're in Chicago or if you play a show elsewhere, yeah, you have the chance to go see a D4 Damagers show. Highly recommend. Cool.
You'll laugh. Definitely.
Yeah.
It's funny.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Get some AC in here because it's fucking hot.
Yeah, I was getting a little hot for
Yeah,
that.
sorry about that.
That's
All
all
right.
good.
I'm okay.